a few minutes. Oh, where? All right. This on? Okay. All right. All right. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Uh, if I can have a motion to leave exec and enter the public meeting.
Motion.
All in favor? All right. If we can stand for the pledge.
We could all just remain standing. So I'd like to pause for a moment of silence to honor the lives lost on September 11th, 2001. We're here standing to remember the bravery, sacrifice, and resilience of those who responded that day and the lasting impact on countless families and communities. Thank you.
Yeah. So, Dr. Warden, I'll turn it over to you to recognize the Ascensio Foundation.
So, Mr. Asienzo, if you'd like to come up. Larry, if you'd like to come up as well. Um, we would like to thank you, and we're here to honor you tonight. As the board knows, the Haciendo Foundation has graciously given us another donation this year for free breakfast every day this school year. Um, Larry, I might steal your thunder slightly, but I believe it was 59,000 free breakfasts, which is up 51%. It was so popular, we needed extra serving lines. But we all know that having an excellent breakfast has a huge impact on students. Some go to breakfast, but that's okay. We're good with that as well. It also just builds the social skills that we're looking for of all those students coming together in the morning. So it definitely reduces food insecurity, something that's really important. I know that's your foundation's really passionate about that. So we really appreciate the care and support that you give to our children. And on behalf of the board and the school district, we want to thank you.
So, and also, if you don't mind,
Of course.
a little bit more thunder, just to give you some real time numbers, okay? Because this is such a huge honor, and we truly appreciate it, and it's and just another example of the impact that it has for our students here. So I ran some numbers, and it was just for the first 6 days of school, first 6 days of school. So where we are this year, where we were last year, and where we were the year before Nick's foundation and his help. So in 2022, for the first 6 days of school, we averaged 71 meals for breakfast. That's a district wide for the first 6 days, 71 a day. So then Nick comes up, steps in, helps us out. That number went up to 130 on our daily participation. So it doubled. So now the first 6 days of school now from 130, we're up to 242. So that's another 54% from this time last year. So I don't know how much to thank you and just to, I mean, the numbers don't lie. And also it maintains the integrity of our meals. It's not just a bowl of cereal and a milk and go on the road. I mean, we've got a variety of yogurts and the local fresh fruit right now. We got peaches, plums, nectarines, um, pizza, breakfast pizza, bagels with cheese and eggs. And I mean, the variety is all there. And having that wide variety gives a wide variety of nutritional value. And it's just, it's growing and growing and growing. And thank you for all your support, Nick. I can't tell you how incredible this is for us, but I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you.
Um, Thank you so much, Larry. It's a community effort, folks, as you all well know. We are blessed with a lot of wonderful people in the community. I am blessed with a lot of great people on my foundation board, and they get it. They understand what's most important. Kids come first, and we're happy to help. Well, thank you again for recognition.
Thank you. Yeah. And just an added thank you on behalf of the board. As a board member, we hear a lot from the community, and it's not always great things. But this is one thing that I do regularly hear about, and something the community is very appreciative of. So thank you for helping make this happen. All right, that brings us to our student BOE report, and we have a new student BOE member, Caitlin. Welcome. Uh, uh, if you want to, as I mentioned last night, if you want to go ahead and just update us on some of the things that are going on and introduce yourself to the board, maybe, remind us your last name and your grade and tell us what's happening.
Yes. Hi. But Dawn, I don't know.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Hi, I'm Caitlin Murphy. I'm a senior at Red Hook High School. I just wanted to talk about what's going on in the high school. So classes have begun and they're going smoothly. Most clubs have begun to have their first meetings. Student council, who recently has gone a new advisor, is planning a meeting for tomorrow to discuss Spirit Week as well as the NYCLSA conference. Um, Before school started, Mentor Club had kind of a meet your mentor day where freshmen were able to meet their mentors and kind of talk about the upcoming year with them. Class elections are being held tomorrow, so the school is very like full of people campaigning, putting up posters, talking to like everyone saying like, vote for me. The fall play has been announced and auditions are being held soon. And then as far as fall sports seasons, um, both boys soccer and girls JV and varsity volleyball had their first home game today. And then girls soccer had their first home game yesterday. So
Thank you and welcome aboard.
I think so. From the posters, it's Puffs. Puffs.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Edition.
so.
The parody of
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Okay.
Okay.
So at one of the rehearsals, it looked very interesting. I think Dr. Hayes wanted to try out.
Okay, I had a quick question. I saw today on a communication that you guys are bringing back in the high school, like a traditional homecoming dance in the gym.
Yes.
Like 80s, 90s style, I think. No, maybe not. Is that true?
Yes, so I'm not entirely sure which class is holding it, but on September 27th there will be a homecoming dance or a HOCO for the school, which is very exciting.
How it used to be. Love it.
Excellent. All right, that brings us to our first recognition of visitors. If there's anyone in the audience that would like to address the board, you have 3 minutes. Just, come to the podium, introduce yourself, state your name, and then you'll have 3 minutes. And at 2:45, I'll give you a little bit of a nod. So if there's anyone that would like to address the board. Yes, we do have, I believe, a second one. Yes, okay. Yeah. So that's Dr. Warden, to you on administrative reports.
Sure. I hope everybody got an opportunity to read the reports that were handed in. We had a great start. Our pre-K through 5, they had a lot of informational meetings, and the Dr. Boyd was really excited at the amount of parents that attended both the pre-K orientation and as well as the kindergarten, and also the 3rd grade social gathering. So that gave students an opportunity to feel better about coming into school. PTA is up and going. They're talking about wait until 8th grade initiative with cell phones, which will go well with our book study that we're going to be doing in our school, and also our community on anxious generation. The school is a great inclusive approach, and you see everybody. This is our children. Everybody's working together, so we're really happy about the start of Mill Road. Also at Linden Avenue, they changed the name of their RTI program to What I Need. So that's basically having students set goals during those periods. We know that there's a large effect on student achievement when that occurs. There's separate lunches now, but there's also the Great Gaga Ball pit. If anybody was able to see that, I don't know how to play that, but apparently some of the students are going to learn how to play that too during PE class. So that's another addition to time outside. You, what'd you say?
At the middle.
Okay, good. I don't know how to play that. We have a lot of new furniture. You have taken a lot of learning walks and saw all the furniture that we have. Lambs also has a lot, got furniture after the last board walk. We had our 6th grade orientation that also worked out well. Stacy also has a new student orientation and then had an open school so that students felt good about coming back to school. This year, her theme is ducks. So apparently, if you start to see them all over and you don't have a Jeep, that it's all because the student council's theme this year is going to be ducks. So club expos will be starting too. There's also new classes that are happening. As you know, Ms. Smith put in place a period of time where students have electives and more choice. So one of the new courses is middle school success strategies that you could read about, the brain, body, and wellness, and AIS skills. As part of our equity work, we're also looking at how students are recommended for our advanced classes and allowing for more student choice and voice and ways to communicate with the criteria with students and families. So a lot going on there at the high school. You gave us a lot, so I'm not going to say the same thing. Same with the mentor club. We just had a family tech night where Kyle or Stacy, did you go? How was that? Was it attended well? It wasn't well attended. We're also started our dual enrollment classes. So those are classes where students will receive college credit. That's psychology and mind, body, and wellness. And as you know, we have the IB for All has begun. So we'll continue to get updates on that. And if you haven't had an opportunity to walk from the main office to the gym in the high school to see all the different paints, soon all the pictures will be back up. So there's a lot of changes. We're also going to be looking at rolling out student ID cards to increase our safety at the high school. So we'll be working on that shortly. Our athletic season has started. There are 235 high school and 135 middle school students signed up for athletics, which is great. The PE teachers are very happy to have air conditioning in the gym. That's been a great addition. And the new floor at Lambs is a big hit for the students and the teachers. As you know, we've had a lot of differences with technology. We had Aparu, our new digital management system, so we can try to be as paperless as possible. We also pushed out Parents Square. We're also, the tech department is working with transportation to make sure that we have a better integration of our trans finder with our systems, our student management system. And as you know, we deployed MacBooks. So we now had our ninth graders get new MacBooks and we deployed some to the fifth grade. The fifth graders are not taking them home, but they are available to be used in the classroom when necessary. And as you can see, we continue to work on all of our upgrades of our windows, and our different systems and construction meetings continue to happen. If you were at the tech meeting, maybe you saw the Red Hook School District Performing Arts Center. We actually have a sign now on the pack. I got your text today with the picture of all the students out front in front of it. So we got signage that identifies that that's the Performing Arts Center. So if you haven't got an opportunity, please drive by and take a look at it. It makes a big difference as you're driving by. We're also looking at camera upgrades throughout the school district as part of our security upgrades. We have our facilities department being trained also in safety protocol, and we had about 350 yards of playground mulch all put in. So the facilities department's working very hard. So that's the board reports. Does anybody have any questions?
Not a question, but I think you mentioned 245 high school students participating in fall sports. Yeah, which is about half of our high school population. That's great. I mean, athletics are an important part of development, so it was nice to hear that we have that many students participating in, at least at the high school level, in fall sports.
Dual enrollment, are we looking into more opportunities for that in the future?
I think we're constantly looking. We also have IB and AP too. So a lot of colleges are also accept that. So that we have IB for all, we're balancing these courses. We're being offered as just general courses, and we're transferred to college courses. At times, it can be difficult to do that depending upon the teacher's certifications. The colleges say we want economics. The teachers would have to have the degree in economics, not social studies. So sometimes we run against certification issues, but Mr. Roddy has been working to transfer those classes that can easily be transferred over to college credit. Anything else?
The only thing that I would add is we had a meeting today with one of the deans from SUNY Orange that covers dual enrollment, and we're trying to find out if there's any feasibility of allowing our students to earn dual enrollment credit for our IB classes. It's not necessarily a slam dunk. There's certain things they have to look into with their accreditation and yada yada, but certainly any IB class we have is as rigorous, if not more rigorous, than the majority of entry level college classes. So they're going to see if that'll work out. If it does, great. And if it doesn't, we're no worse off than we are now. So.
About the book talk that you mentioned, I'm just wondering who's invited to participate in that. The book talk, the Anxious Generation. Is it like a building, the district?
So it's our goal is anyone that lives in the community that's interested in being part of the school and the conversation. So you can have a child in the district, you don't necessarily have to have one. So I can segue right over into my superintendent's report. We're going to have a wellness fair in the school district on October 16th. And part of that, hopefully, we will be able to pass out books. But I don't want to put you on the spot, but Matt is working on this as part of his internship. So he has been collaborating with the Tivoli and the Red Hook Library and the Red Hook Education Foundation on ways to get the library involved too, and either helping us buy books, but ultimately we're thinking about hosting events in the school with our staff and our teachers and our parents, but also in the community, and talking to community members about the influence of how they can help support our children. They are with us for actually a small period of time, and then they're out in the community for most of the time. So how does that the community help support us? So we're looking at thinking of having small book talks, whether it be at the libraries or other places that would be interested in hosting. Did I get everything? Right, because we thought we wanted, if people weren't able to read the book, they would still be able to come to a talk and access the conversation, regardless if they didn't read chapter one, or they would be something, a topic that would be very accessible for people to participate in. Years ago, I participated in something very similar to this in New Paltz. And it was a student about, it was about autism and adults with autism and their interactions. And I'm going to say the title wrong, but the book was The Curious Incident of the Dog at Night. Okay. And that was the book that the entire community read, the school, and there was a lot of discussion around autism and their interactions in society. So it was a great way books are always a great way to engage people in discussions. And there's a lot of research in the book and graphics about over phone use for our students, lack of playtime, parenting. So we're hoping this kind of opens up to we're not really sure of the complete end result, but we know starting a conversation is always really important. And we've been hearing a lot about other schools looking to or are no longer allowing cell phones in school. So I think that involves an entire community to have that conversation about how that would look, what is it necessary, and how we would go about doing that, and the involvement of parents as well when the students go home and what that looks like. To answer your question.
Thank you.
Going back to the wellness fair, we had a meeting the other day and we talked about again having a wellness fair on October 16th. And this is part of the Raider profile. The vision of the fair will be to discuss how we're going to be tending to the physical and emotional health of our students. We're also hoping for a ribbon cutting for our new nature path that will have a lot of ability to have students be able to walk that path, hopefully bike that path in the winter because it's going to be able to be plowed. So we're excited about that. I think they're going to start working on that hopefully next week. And again, like I said before, it's going to be a time for us to hand out those books, but also a time to see the different physical and emotional supports that are given in the schools. So it's open to our parents and our community members. And there was also talk like similar to Disney, where you get a passport, and the students would be able to go around and then talk about getting prizes so that people would go to each table. We're looking to keep it somewhat internal for our first year, maybe invite some external groups, but not open up completely. They get a handle on how it all works. Sure, there'll be some livestock. Larry will be there with his food, and he had what did he have at the expo?
Cow.
Cow, not Kate saw a goat. I think it was a cow. It was a
Cow.
It
It's
was
a small
cute.
cow.
So, did I miss anything? I know Kelly and Aaron, you were both at the meeting. Okay. All right. And also, if everybody could take a look at the topics. I gave the board a list of topics for board meetings for the 24-25 school year. I gathered all the information that you had asked, presentations that you'd like to see throughout the course of the school year. Does anybody have any questions or additions that they're thinking about? I can let everybody take a moment to look at it if they haven't. Do you want me to say them? I don't.
I have one initial thought. If we could incorporate, maybe it's in here already, in the first one, the assessments, if we can incorporate sort of what you're looking at LAMS with how advanced placement is going and what you're kind of looking at, that the information you're gathering from students and families, just to like incorporate it into that one. I know that's coming up first, so I don't know if that gives you enough time, but, or if there's somewhere else that you see fit for that to
Sure, sure.
kind of circle back around to that,
No
hear
problem.
more.
Mhm.
I actually did have a question on that. So thanks for bringing that up. What you said that conversations were happening regarding reviewing like how people are placed into advanced courses. Is that happening at the district level, or is there a certain school committee that's reviewing that? Or is it part of a larger initiative? Just
Yes, yes, yes. It is definitely part of our larger of an initiative of us looking at access and opportunities. And that's why we landed with the IB for all, things like that. But we can certainly, when we go into this future focus, we can talk a little bit more about changes that we have seen over the course of the years, whether students are having more ability to access and what the prerequisites classes are to get to them. So we can talk a little bit about that. But yeah, it is both the district, us talking about a larger goal of providing students those opportunities, but then it's the principals and their teams in the buildings looking at and saying, okay, what does that look like for the pathway in math? What does that look like for the pathway in English? And that's why the English teachers came up with that complete redesign of offering electives and then have all the students taking the IB class. So we'll be assessing that along the way too. We're not going to wait till the end. We're going to keep looking at it throughout to see if we need to add additional supports or what else we need to do. So everybody is good with this. Hopefully we won't have to change anything. I did note at the bottom that the three dates that were conflicting with the Dutchess County School Board Association. So I think everybody felt that we could probably be okay with that for now.
If we can just watch the recordings, stay current.
Right.
All right, and then I just want to address the issue that occurred at Lamb's today. We did send out correspondence, but at first I would like to thank the Red Hook Police Department. I think we've had many discussions, the importance of having the SRO program in our schools, and the collaboration that we have with them allows for swift information to flow between administration and the police, and us being able to move very quickly when incidents occur. So we did find bullets in the cafeteria, and within 10 minutes, we were able to identify the student. The district will continue with the code of conduct that we have in place. We also, I think as many of you know, we have district level safety teams. We have building level safety teams. We debrief after every incident, but we look at our protocols and procedures. So I think that the district, the administration, Ms. Smith and Mr. Brown handled the situation very appropriately. They were supported by Dr. Hayes and myself and the Red Hook PD, and I think it ended in a safe way for our entire school body. So I do want to publicly thank again the Red Hook Police for their constant support in the school district. It means it's tremendous to have that partnership with them.
I just want to comment that I know one of our district goals, board goals has been communication, and I commend the communication. I think it is so critical to get the information out quickly, whether it's this new automation that's coming, but even on the text and email today, I think it just put everyone at ease. So great job. Like response is everything. So you guys did a great job.
If anybody else have any other questions for me, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Summers, and she's going to talk a little bit about the curriculum and assessment, professional development.
Yes, there's lots. There's lots going on. I hope everyone has had a peaceful and wonderful summer. The opening of school has been very successful. I will highlight the good work from the summer that has helped ensure that the district is ready for a new school year. So I'll start with new teacher orientation. We welcomed 15 new faculty members to our district. We kicked off our 2-day new teacher orientation with a welcome from Dr. Warden. She really sets the bar high for our new teachers with a level of joy, really, because she does get them talking about where they go and what they do. And it really is a good icebreaker for all of them because it's important that they know that we're here to support their process and their progress. So the first day is really focused on the essential elements for best instructional practices. We do incorporate what we expect, the evaluation system, my learning plan, and just want them to feel supported and really feel the joy that happens here at Red Hook. So Jack Costello from Pupil Personnel Services also supports the first day with a look at how we are supporting our diverse learners. And that's important. That's important to know that we look at our students and it's the whole student. So building administrator, building administrators were invited to lunch, so they were able to talk with their new teachers, and then they had some time so that they could become acquainted with building level safety and also the expectations. The second day, the orientation is dedicated to technology. There's a lot going on in the world of technology, and we want to make sure that they understand how to utilize the tools that we provide them, especially with the one-to-one initiative that has grown. So it also includes cybersecurity, privacy, portals, libraries that are available to them. And so it's a fun-filled day. We broke it into 2 days because it can be very overwhelming with just one day. The next item is summer curriculum writing projects. We really had many of them. We had a total of 21 summer curriculum writing projects. That's an opportunity for teachers to work in a group to fine tune their curriculum. We are using Atlas for a curriculum mapping software, and we had 14 secondary curriculum projects and 7 elementary. The elementary really focused on making sure that we are meeting our expectations in literacy with a balanced literacy approach that is aligned with the new literacy briefs coming out of the state education department. And they really did a wonderful job. Every grade level participated from pre-K through 5 and work on this work. And each teacher, and all of them came, had the opportunity to work on the project. So it's very, very embedded as to the why we're doing it, but also what we are doing. The other thing that I'd like to mention is that we do have a brand new mentoring program, and that is going to be professional development for our teams of mentors and our new teachers. And that'll be PD every month, time for discussion, support. It'll be happening at a secondary level and also an elementary level because the focus is a little bit different at each of those levels. We do have 7 mentors supporting our new teachers, and we have 8 ambassadors. See what else we can do. And I think I also have to mention, and Dr. Warden did mention this, I do have some data on it. The IT department has rolled out, deployed brand new MacBooks to the 9th grade. That was 133 of them in August. They deployed 116 MacBooks to the 6th grade class this week, and they have deployed to the 5th grade for the first time 107 MacBooks to be used in school only. And to the Mill Road Elementary, they have deployed 120 new iPads. So this supports our instructional environment. So it is a team effort. And they have really supported also the opening of school for all faculty members because coming back and forgetting your password or not remembering how to use something certainly requires some support. So Yes, John has done a great job and, under the leadership of Donna Seelbach and Michelle Lowney and and Mario, and Jim, all a great team. They have been down some staff this summer and into the school year, but they are a true team and they champion whatever is handed to them. So many thanks to them. And it's been busy and fun, and we're happy for a new start to a wonderful school year. The general feeling across the district as I visit the schools is one of excitement. And so I'm happy to say that through students and with teachers and usually with administrators. So we're really happy to start and really have a great year this year. Thank you. Any questions? Okay.
Um, any questions? Anybody? No? Okay. All right, that brings us to the consent agenda. If I can have a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Any comments, questions on anything on the consent agenda? No? All in favor? It's everybody, I guess. Okay. All right, that brings us to personnel agenda. Do I have a motion? Any questions, comments on anything on personnel? All in favor? Okay. And is there, are there, no comments on, okay. Have some, we have a new hire, someone we want to thank or welcome or, yeah, all right, I didn't, all right. Next, that brings us to BOE review and remarks. The DCSBA schedule for 24-25. Right, good. Meeting for vote ratification. We, as a board, we need to ratify the vote. And we thought the easiest way to do that would be after the election on the 22nd. If the board members are here, or at least a quorum, we can vote then to ratify them. And I think just given the timing, Elena had suggested that we do that because the next board meeting would be a little too late.
Come back together the next day. But if people plan on being there, it would just be immediately following the count.
Right. So do people have is there a preference? I asked Elena and I think she said, the election will end at 9 and by, 9:45, 9:30. I don't want to make any promises, depends on how many write-in ballots and the accounting and as we last time. But, can people stick around until 9:45 or 10 to do a quick 5-minute meeting to ratify it? Be there. All right. Sounds good. It's past my bedtime, but I'll stay. All right. That brings us to our second recognition of visitors. And again, introduce yourself. You'll have 3 minutes with 15 seconds left. I'll just give you a polite wave so you know. And in commenting, just be sure not to reference any specific student names.
Can you hear me? Is it on?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I'm Sherry Monaco. I'm a mom of 3 in the district and an alumni. I'm here for a couple of reasons. First off, thank you for the communication today, Stacy and school, for the issue. I think that there's some follow-up that we have to make sure we're doing to ensure that the safety of everybody coming back and the anxiety that this event created is addressed. My phone's already received a lot of questions today and I'm like, okay, we gotta let people respond. But I think there's a lot of people that have some concerns. So we need to make sure that stays a priority and we stay communicating. The second thing is I have concerns with how our district is engaging and responding to 504 requests and IEP requests. And the timelines with getting the responses back and collaborating and following. Is there a rater profile poster? Follow, oh, I can't see it. Following the rater profile that's all over. As a parent, I have engaged our district for years, and I often received responses back via email or phone call, but nobody said to me, you're not asking the right question in the right way. So we actually aren't starting to do any further assessments or looks into your concerns. So it's taken 6 years, and I don't think that's okay. I think it's really important that we look at 504s, IEPs, how we're supporting students and families in their needs, and our compliance with the legal requirements for student rights and supporting kids. I also understand this is data that a lot of people want to be private about, and they should be able to do that and not have to come to these meetings and speak to their children's needs or what's going on in their personal lives. I can just tell you my own personal life, I have had struggles navigating it, and I have not felt that rater profile day in and day out coming back from the school, and it should be different. I have concerns that we could be out of compliance with more than one student. I know we're out of compliance with one, but I don't know how many others might not have what they should have had in place at the start of the school year. And I can't say enough how important I think an internal audit of what's going on to support our students and our teachers to have the most successful start to their year in their education is. I think that's about everything. I'm sure if I forgot it, I'll email you. I appreciate all you guys do.
Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, don't hesitate to email. Anybody else? No? All right. That brings us to adjournment. Do I have a motion? Unless there's anything else anyone wants to raise or get off their chest. Nope. All right.
I'll motion.
Uh,
Quick meeting, so.
absolutely.
Oh, please.
No, I think the best thing we can do is make the vote on adjournment so she can get home for maybe a little cake with her family. All right. All in favor? Aye. All right.